Hey all, it's GOG. I made this recording earlier, and YouTube didn't like my music going on in the background. They blocked it, so I got to narrate this while it's going on. Anyway, this is a painting. It's a reverse swipe that I did last night. Gina DeLuca, Julie Cutts, and Christina Walsh. I watched their videos and then ran downstairs and had to try it. And I came up with that one that I just set to the side. This is what I'm going to do now. So, I got some aqua flash, some black flash, some green flash, some orange, green, and blue. Don't know the brands, don't know the tints to it. It's my pre-mixed paints. They're probably Saks heavy body. And I got I'm going to use white to do my reverse swipe with. And got a styrofoam cup that I put silicone in to let the paint flow out easier. And I'm saying I got some acrylic pour oil that I'm going to put in it. I'm not going to put it in each individual cup. I'm going to put it in my dirty cup. I'm going to do a couple layers and put some pour oil in it, a couple layers, some pour oil. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm lighting a cigarette. It's kind of weird doing this voiceover thing because I don't remember everything that I said. Okay, here we go. Some black flash. It's an 8.5 ounce cup. I figured I needed 8 ounces of paint. I went next door to a little store on the corner, and all they had was 8.5 ounce styrofoam cups. I'm just layering different colors in at a time, a little bit at a time. And throwing some pour oil in there. Right here I meant to do like 2 or 3 drops in there. And as you can see, it squirts. So I got like 10 drops in at that time. The layering of paint in your dirty cup, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can put any color paint next to each other. It's kind of nice to maybe do the same color, the 2 blues and the 2 greens next to each other like I did in this one. But then the second layer I mixed it up to different colors laying on top of each other. Then I put some more 3 or 4 drops in there of that again. When I make my dirty cups, I kind of want every color to touch every other color in the cup. And putting the silicone in the dirty cup, I think as it falls through, it pulls one color into the other, creating more colorful cells than when it's already mixed in the paints, it's only capturing that color and passing through maybe one other color. I hope that makes sense. I think right now I'm probably telling the story about the post I did on Gina DeLuca's Go Make Some Art. I posted a picture of the one painting that I showed at the very beginning of this video. The lady asked, how do you get big cells? Well, I explained that I pre-mix my paints, and my paints can sit for anywhere from a day to a week. I just use them as I got a color I want. I use them. And since I've been pre-mixing paints, I've gotten bigger cells and better pieces, better paintings. Or as my brother just pointed out, it might be because I've just gotten better at doing these. I don't know. I think definitely the pre-mixed paints and the silicone or coconut milk or your additive that you're putting in your dirty cup to make cells, putting it in the dirty cup rather than in the colors makes a lot of difference. Sitting here watching myself put paint in a cup, thinking of something to say. This is kind of weird. Okay. Got my cup, got my canvas, got my seal. Flip! You can't imagine how many times I've screwed that up. I mean, sometimes pretty bad. I didn't put none of that in the top layer there. I had thought about it and I've done it. I also didn't stir the dirty cup or put an X in the dirty cup like some people do. I don't do that most of the time. I have. I don't know if I've ever noticed the difference. Anyway, we put the ring of white on here. This is going to be the color that I throw on top of the dirty pour. Everybody calls it a reverse swipe, but you're just throwing some paint on top of the dirty pour. And my brother is off camera right now. He's trying another one where he's using green as this color, as his flop paint, reverse swipe paint. It's going to start going here in a minute, guys. Bear with me. You don't need that many holes. Look at it ooze. It's oozing out. Boom. Look at the colors. Yeah, the silicone in that styrofoam cup did not work out very well. It did. I mean, a lot of paint left in the cup. But I've seen the clear people use the spray in the clear plastic cups, and all that paint slides out. So I might have to get some spray. Something in my paint right there. I hope this audio comes out okay. I tend to mumble sometimes. More white and more white and more white. I use a lot of paint, but I'm a true believer in wasting paint is a big part of this art. There's too much paint and there's too much paint. I use too much paint. My brother's last couple, he has used too much paint, but they end up looking okay anyway. You just kind of flick this white up on top of the dirty pour. Try not to move the whole pile like I did right there. Just kind of flick it up on top. Almost enough. Yep, I must have decided that's okay. Excuse me. Um, more white, more paint. And I suppose you could use a different color doing this. You might get a different effect, but most of this paint that I'm putting on right now is going off. I already know it's going off. But it's the only way to get, that I found, to keep the paint that's flowing to the edges, excuse me, from not rolling under itself. If you don't put that that layer of white or whatever color you want to use on there, when you're tilting it, your pile of paint is going to roll up under itself. With that white on there, that white is what's rolling up under itself and dragging your pile. I hope that makes sense. Hit this with a torch and bam, look at all the little bitty cells pop up. And I'm going to think about it for a half a second, or maybe a couple seconds. I think I dropped my cigarette over there. That's what I did. Cigarette fell out of the ashtray. It went out, and it's a concrete floor, so it's all good. It's starting to get to the edge there. I didn't want it to go off yet. And my canvas doesn't seem level to me. I leveled it before I started. My table is damn near perfectly level. And I put those screw hooks on the bottom corners of my canvas. So, all right, let's do some tilting. So last night when I was watching the videos, one of the ladies, she talked about cupping your hand on the corner and rocking it as you tilt it, kind of, and then jerking back, pulling back, and it works rather well. Your cupped hand puts the paint on that corner. You pull cells back rather than letting them fall off. Yeah, the cupped hand thing is an obvious trick, but it's a trick that I should have been doing long before this. And the rock in the paint, I don't know whether that does anything or not. It seemed like it was doing something when I was tilting this painting. But honestly, these are probably the best corners of the painting I've had. They always seem to get a funky, muddied rainbow thing going on when I try to touch them up. This, I didn't have to touch them up. Not letting those cells fall off that corner, but pulling them back into your painting worked wonders. Get that last corner done. I want to run it all the way back to the middle. Sorry I don't always keep the painting in the camera's view. I try to. I think I might have done a little bit better on this one than I have on other videos. But then I don't put it back into frame. This whole edge is off. But I decided, yeah, that's leaning. It's not level. So I twist out that screw thing a little bit. It's leveled right up. And I didn't see this image when I was doing this painting at all. But if you look in the bottom center of the screen right now, you see a bird Bird's head right there. I mean, it's totally obvious that's what that is. And I don't know how long that stays with it. The images that you look at in these paintings are mesmerizing sometimes. Gotta wash my hands. Gotta wash the paint off my hands. Well, I didn't realize that took that long. A few seconds, but so it looks pretty good. I really like it, the way it's sitting. I have no idea what I'm saying. But I think we need to hit it with the torch. Yeah, let's hit it with the torch. That bird thing, it grew 2 eyes. Like it turned its head towards them. Torch, and it gave it some life, made it look different. I'm saying things, I don't know what I was saying. Probably this is kind of cool looking. I really like it. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say. I can say thanks to everyone that does these videos. I've watched hundreds of hours of these videos. Get inspiration from almost every one of them. They're wonderful. I think I'm talking about the silicone thing. And I was saying how I pre-mix my paints, and my paints are 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part water. I mix that up about half gallon at a time, and I take my paints, mostly I take the Saks heavy bodied, and I pre-mix those. I mix those 2 parts of my medium to 1 part paint. No, that's not right. 3 parts of my medium to 1 part paint for the Saks. For the other brands, the thinner brands, it's 2 to 1. Anyway, I mix those up and I put them in a condiment jug. So, I really like the new one, but I got to show off last night's too because I can. I really like last night's better, the more I look at them. But there's nothing wrong with the green one. The red one, before I did the painting, and the reason I did those colors is fireballs. I wanted to see fireballs floating in space. And I think that's what I came up with that. This one, I just wanted to see how these colors work together. Really. I got a little bit of that lightning going on that was in all 3 of the girls' last night's videos that I watched. There's a little ghostly looking thing that I had been looking at the whole time. And this is one that Alan did as I was doing that one. He used color flash black, red, silver, white, and then he used green as his reverse swipe color. Okay, so I just realized that my recording went longer than my video and it kind of cut off. So I went back and chopped the last minute and a half off. I don't know what I was talking about. But, that's my video. I want to thank Gina DeLuca and Julie Cutts and Christina Welsh for the inspiration for these from last night. Everybody like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate everyone watching my videos. Dog out.